As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to show you how to make pineapple shrimp fried rice, and we're going to have it in an actual pineapple. About 4 years ago, the very first video that I have ever posted pertaining to food went viral, and it was a steak pineapple bowl. So we are going to recreate it, but we are going to make it with rice this time. So keep watching. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. And I promise you it is very, very easy, and I will make it as simple as possible. So the first thing that we're going to do before you do anything is you are going to prep the rice. Before you cook the rice, you are going to rinse it. You want to rinse it in some water. There is a filter on my sink, so if you do not drink tap water, do not rinse anything in it. So you want to wash it and kind of rub it together, because this is what you do not want to eat. You want to drain this off, and you want to keep doing it until that water turns back clear. And this is long grain rice. I got this rice from Whole Foods. So after you get it rinsed, you are going to add 2 cups of water. So for every 1 cup of rice, you want to add 2 cups of water. We did 1 cup of rice, so we're adding 2 cups of water. This is for people that cannot cook rice. I don't know why people cannot cook rice. So after it is done, you want to cover it, let it get fluffy, and then you're going to let that sit in the refrigerator and cool. So now we're going to prep the pineapple. Have someone cut a pineapple in half. Unfortunately, I do not have the strength to do that. So what we're going to do is create cubes. So the cubes is just going to give you an easier way to remove the pit. Please do not mix the pit in with the edible pieces. So you're just going to go ahead and do what I'm doing here. See me cutting down the middle, and you do want to take a serrated knife. It's actually easier when dealing with the pineapple. And you want to cut the pit out first, and then you're going to go around the edges of the pineapple. After you go around the edges of the pineapple, you're just going to go ahead and create those cubes. This is just the easiest way that I did it. I found that because about 4 years ago when I did this, I just cut the whole thing out. I don't know why I did that. I just did it, but it was difficult. So this time I just went ahead and discovered that the cubes is the easiest. And then once again, please remove the pit first. Once you get the pit removed, you are going to put that in another bowl or another container. It doesn't matter. I always save mine because I make a pineapple ginger syrup. I love Starbucks, so I figured out some things. So keep it, do what you want to do with it, but this is what I do with mine. And after you go ahead and get the pit out, like I'm showing you here, you are going to take a separate bowl, and this is the pieces that we are going to make the pineapple shrimp with. So all you're going to do is cut out some more of the bottom, as you can see here. It's easier if you cut it before I took a spoon, which is probably why it was so difficult, and I tried to lift it up, and it took so long to do that. So just go ahead and slice it again, and then after you get done cutting it out, you're going to take a spoon, or a large spoon, and you are going to scoop it out. You're going to scoop it just like I'm showing you here. Put that in the same container, and then repeat the process for the other half of the pineapple. So especially with fruit, if you have gloves, please use gloves. Mine are still on its way. It is in high demand, as we all know. So the pineapple should look just like this. You want to scoop out as much as you can, and this is me just showing you everything that you need to create the pineapple shrimp fried rice. I'm showing you that you need some shrimps, you need green onion, a red pepper, 2 eggs, a little bit of parsley, you need a lot of butter, you need garlic and ginger. That's what's in there. I also use garlic powder, onion powder, Old Bay, black pepper, and this is a secret ingredient, kind of not secret, but I really like this ingredient, which is chili powder. So the very first thing that you're going to do after washing all of your veggies is you are going to prep the green onion. You do not want to just cut these straight, because if you're doing exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to create that product. So what you're going to do is you're going to chop these at an angle. You want to slice them. You do not need them thin. You kind of want them kind of big, like you want them to actually show in the actual rice. So you're going to do about 2 cups of that green onion. Next, we're going to dice 1 red pepper. you do not want small dices, you want medium to large dices, because this is a rice, and once these vegetables cook down, they're going to get smaller. So you want to make them larger, so when they cook down, they cook down to a regular size. So what you want to do is, of course, clean the red pepper, take everything out. You do not want the veins, so if you come across one, just go ahead and cut around it, take it out. Nobody wants to chew that. Please make sure there is no seeds in this as well. So after you clean the red pepper, you are going to you're going to dice the whole thing. And again, you want medium to large slices, dices. If you do not want to use a red pepper, you can use a yellow one, but there's pineapple in here, so yellow it really wouldn't show. So now what we're going to do is repeat the process until the whole red pepper is done. And then next what we're going to do is we are going to take about a handful of fresh parsley. Of course, you're going to chop the stems off, and then you're going to gather them together. I have a video that I have to release that's called the Chiffinator. It'll show you all these different cuts, and this is what this is called. I actually did it in the Do It For The Culture for the collard greens. You just want to kind of bunch them all up, roll them if you can, and then chop them. But you want this finely chopped. You don't want them roughly chopped like most of my videos, because this, you really don't want a lot of parsley, because the green onion and the other flavors are actually going to embrace this meal. So you want to finely chop this, and you have to do this a couple times. And you want to take the back of the knife and then just set that to the side. Someone asked me that. You definitely don't want to touch the blade when moving it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to peel and devein the shrimp. You want to clean the shrimp the same way with some apple cider vinegar and some water, and then rinse it in straight water. And again, if you do not drink tap water, do not wash anything in it. If you don't have a filter, go ahead and use a bottled water. So right here, I'm just showing you how to peel the shrimp and then get the vein out. Please look through the shrimp and make sure there is no veins, even if it says it is already peeled and deveined. So now you see me going through the bowl of pineapples that I took out of the actual pineapple, and you see me looking for the pit. The pit is the hard pieces. You do not want to chew those. You do not want to cook those either. So what I'm doing right here is just going through it, and I'm cutting off any of the pieces that still have the pit on there that have might have slipped in or I've overlooked. So that's the only thing that you have to do here. Again, you don't have to do this step, but if you want to create this dish the way that I did it, please do everything that you see me doing. And again, please look for the vein in the shrimp. If you trust your grocery store or your farmer's market that much, then you are a very lucky person, because I do not. So next what we're going to do is we are actually going to create the pineapple shrimp fried rice. So it is time to cook. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a fry pan, and you are going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and then 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and you are going to melt that into the pan. In the top left corner, you actually see the clip of me melting the butter, and then after the butter is melted, you are going to add all of those red peppers. You want to give them a toss just to get the butter and the garlic mixed in well. You do not have to toss it the way I just did it. You can just go ahead and mix it up. I just have a habit of doing that because I am a professional chef. So the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to allow this to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes untouched. Just don't touch it. Let the butter get absorbed into the vegetables, because once it absorbs, it's going to release back out, and then it's going to keep doing the same thing until there is no more butter left in this pan. So I would say 3 to 4 minutes, and you do want your heat on medium to high. You don't want it to be low, unless you like your veggies to be crunchy, because some people actually do. So now you are going to see a side-by-side clip. The first one on the left is going to show you to season your peppers with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. Please use freshly ground cracked pepper. If you use the one that is in the container, there's no telling how long that has been sitting, and I do just suggest that you guys just crack your own. And on the right side, what you'll see me doing is adding 2 more tablespoons of butter. Adding this butter is for the pineapples. We're going to add the pineapple, and then we're going to add a half a tablespoon of squeezed ginger. When you add that ginger, you are going to mix everything in well with a spoon at first, and then we're going to go back into the tossing method where you see me take the pan and you see me toss it. You've probably seen this before where people take an omelet and they toss it. Please don't be scared to do this. You just follow the food. You can't go wrong. So after you let that cook for another couple minutes, you are going to sprinkle on about a handful of the green onion. You actually want the green onion to cook in with this whole mixture. So you want to go ahead and toss it again. You do this frequently as a chef. I have never worked in the kitchen. I was trained in the kitchen, so I know all of the techniques. So right here, I'm just showing you the easiest way just to toss it. You do want to use your wrist. Do not use your elbow, and follow the food. If the food goes up, move the pan up. If the food comes back, move the pan back. So now we're going to add a half a tablespoon of that chili powder. You do not want to add a lot of this. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And you're going to go ahead, do the same technique, get it tossed in. I think tossing is better than, stirring it in, but that's just my opinion. So now we're going to add the rest of that butter, which is going to be another like 1 tablespoon, I would say. And you're going to add this to one side because we are going to add the shrimp in. You just want to give the shrimp a little bit of room, and you just want to toss those into the same pan. I do suggest you use the other half of the pan and not a separate pan. We want all of those flavors to stay in together. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Old Bay. If you want to add more, go ahead and add more, but please do not overdo it. So after about 2 minutes, as everybody knows that shrimp and seafood cooks very fast, and it is even easier to overcook seafood. So after 2 minutes and you start seeing them turn pink, you are going to flip them and then start to get them combined into the mixture. At that point, you're going to cook the mixture for about another minute, and you will start to see that the shrimp is completely pink. So after that, you are going to add the rest of the green onion. So you're going to add this toward the end. I promise you are almost done with the pineapple shrimp. So now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley, the parsley that you chopped up in the beginning. You're going to get everything mixed up and combined. At this point, you want to turn it off because you are actually done. And if done correctly, it should look exactly like this, and you have just created some pineapple shrimp. So now we're going to fry the rice. If you want white rice, you do not have to fry it, but this is my fried rice. So we are going to clean that pan out, and you are going to put the heat on high. You're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. So we are frying rice, so you do need a fry pan. If you have a saute pan, you can use that, but we are frying some rice, so again, use a fry pan. So after you get the butter melted down, you have to break it up. This is salted butter. You do want to use salted because we are making Hawaiian food. After that butter is melted, you want to go ahead and add your rice. You want to gradually add your rice depending on how big your pan is. And then after you get the rice added, you are going to drizzle about a tablespoon of olive oil just to help it crisp up and fry. So we're going to cook this for 2 minutes. You're going to constantly toss it for 2 minutes because this pan is really hot and you do not want your rice to burn. So after that, you are going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. It does not matter what kind of soy sauce you use. Some people like to use the black soy sauce. It's just like it's soy sauce. I don't know why people make a big difference out of that. It's not really a big difference. It's what it say. It's darker. So you can use soy sauce, and you want to cook that for 2 minutes. This pan is really hot. I'm going to keep saying it because some people might forget, and I do not want you to burn this rice. So this is a non-stick fry pan. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a well, and you're going to crack 2 eggs into that well. That's the reason why I didn't put any other oil in the middle, because this is a non-stick pan, which is why I'm using wooden spoons to keep it from scratching. So we are going to crack the eggs in, and then you're going to break the yolk and scramble the eggs. Do not mix the eggs into the rice until the eggs is cooked. Once the eggs are cooked and scrambled, you are going to fold it in. folding it in just helps you break up the chunks, because you do not want a big chunk of egg and you do not want a lot of egg. So if you want to use more than two, that's a stretch, and I do not suggest that you do that. But after you get it broken up and mixed up to your liking, as you can see here, you see me pushing it. This is, again, this is non-stick, so you don't see anything sticking. Nothing should stick when you fry this rice. If done correctly, it should look just like this with the egg and the fried rice. So at this point, we are going to add the pineapple shrimp mixture. After you add the mixture, you are going to combine it, try to fold it in as well, do the same technique. So you do not have to combine everything. I'm just showing you exactly how I made this creation. So you can just put the rice in the bowl and then put the mixture on top. So after you get done combining everything, and if done correctly, it should look just like this. You want to remove this from the heat because you are completely done cooking, and now it is time to plate your meal. So again, we're going to serve these in pineapples, in actual pineapples, the pineapples that we cut and the pineapples that we cleaned. You are simply going to take that mixture and you are going to stuff it into the pineapple bowl. You actually want to stuff it. You don't want it overflowing, but you do want to stuff it. You want a good amount in there. So you just want to move stuff around, get a good amount of shrimp, get a good amount of rice in there. And then you're going to top with the green onion. This is the topping to this dish. You can sprinkle it on if you want. You do not have to sprinkle it on. But again, I'm showing you the exact way that I created this meal. So now we're going to take a little bit of that parsley and we're going to garnish the top. You do not need a lot. You really just need a pinch of it. And now you're completely done. You have just created yourself a pineapple shrimp fried rice bowl. So let me know how you guys like this recipe. And of course, I will see you in my next video. And I hope this was easy for everyone to follow, because this is a really easy